Good morning, welcome, rise and shine. Luke with Premium Aquatics here with the tank. Today, we have some new inhabitants that we are putting in the system. That's right, thank the Lord. We finally have some spring-a-rye damsels. We've been waiting for these suckers for I don't know how long. They have been impossible to get right now. But we got them. I got 3 of them. We're putting in the system. They're a little bit smaller than what you might see normally, but hey, I'm gonna take them. We're gonna train them right to these flatworms, and we're gonna get this tank under control. Hopefully, cross our fingers. It is a live animal. It's never guaranteed, but they're very, very, very well known for it. So we're gonna cross our fingers and hope and pray that they do the job. So, what are we doing today? What are we talking about? We're not just talking about fish. We're not talking about a new fish. Spring-a-rye damsels. You know, they're a great fish. They're very, very well known for flatworm eaters, like I said. So that's what we're going to try and do. But my quarantine tank is down. It's been down. I haven't had a chance to set it up. It's, you know, I haven't been getting new fish, so it was taken down and I just didn't get time to set it up. Shoot, now what am I going to do? I know there are tons of you that are like me and do not have a quarantine set up at this very second. What happens when you go to the fish store, you see this coral, and you're like, oh great, that's amazing, but then it catches your eye. That gorgeous blue hippo, yellow belly blue hippo tang in the corner there. Your kid sees it like, oh, it's Dory. Oh, you gotta get it. You love it. You've been wanting one for so long, but you just haven't. You didn't pull the trigger. The kids see it. They're ecstatic about it. They want it. They've gotta have it. What do? Do you say, well, crap, I don't have a quarantine, can't get it? Or do you say, you know what? There may be a second option. What is that second option? Mind you, you're gonna have to wait and see. Let's go, guys. Come on. Okay, second option. Okay, back up. Before we get into this, before you roast me, oh, you don't have a quarantine, oh, you're the worst reefer in the world. I may be, I don't know, but you know what? Just things happen, and like I've mentioned many times in my videos, you try and be prepared, and it doesn't always work out for you, and you try to do what's best, and it doesn't always work out for you, and you just gotta roll with the punches. Something that we're gonna look at today and test out is this puppy right here. You know what these are if you've ever dealt with a lot of fish or you've went shopping. This is the Blue Life Safety Stop. This is a semi-quarantine replacement-ish. Before we go too far into this, I want to say, yes, there is no substitution for a quarantine hospital tank. There's no substitution for it. If you can do it, you should do your best attempt and try to keep one running, especially if you're consistently going to be adding fish. Not always is that feasible, and not always does it happen. And so this is what we're talking about today. In the case that you don't have a quarantine ready, at least do something to help your fish out and have the best success rate that you can. No substitute for quarantining and having a hospital tank, so I don't want to hear it. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about these here real quick. You get 2 parts. You've got the methylene blue, and then you got formalin. Very well-known products. Blue Life just puts it in a pouch for you, makes it really easy. Part A and Part B, we got little scissors here. Can you see that? Part A over here, Part B over here. We're gonna put each part into 1 gallon of our existing tank water. Very important, our tank water. Taking a gallon out of our tank water, putting it in a bucket, taking a gallon of the tank water, putting in a second bucket, and we're gonna cut one in each bucket. Let that mix around. They do recommend using an air pump because you want that aeration. So let's go ahead and cut these open, get the buckets, throw them in it. So before we do this, we've got to drip acclimate our fish just like normal. That does not change. You're going to float the temperature, regulate them, put them in their own little bucket or container, whatever you have. Drip water from your tank into that to match all your, as much as possible, salinity, pH, that sort of thing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take them out of the water. We're going to put them into Part A, and we're going to have our air pump going. We're going to put them in Part A, and we're going to leave them for 45 minutes. We're going to check on them. We're going to keep tabs on them, make sure that they don't look like they're getting worse or stressing out big time. If they are, we want to yank them out of there, and we don't want to continue because we don't want to let this, whatever's going on with them, because obviously it's stressful. They're already in a stress situation. We don't want to make it worse by putting them in dips if it's just they're, you know, at their peak stress, you know. So you want to keep an eye on them, make sure they're not going crazy or anything like that. And as long as they're good in that one, you're going to take them from part A, fish them out, put them in part B. We're going to redo that time, 45 minutes, and we're going to let them go in the methylene blue for 45. Now again, same thing, you want to keep tabs on them, you want to keep an eye on them, and then at the end of that is when we'll put them in the system. This is not invert safe, keep that in mind, no inverts, no corals, none of that stuff, fish only. Let's get that ready, let's go. Alright, so we have the buckets, gallon each. We have an air pump that is putting the air into both of them. This is going to be part A over here. You do want to be careful with methylene blue. The blue side, they say it can stain, which I don't doubt that. So be careful of that on when you're putting it in. We'll let both of those mix up for a little bit. All three Springer eyes are in part A. We'll let it go for 30-45 minutes, keep our eye on them, and then we'll get them over in part B. We've hit the time, so we are going to transfer them over to this part 2. So let's get them over here and start their second bath. Time's up, guys. Everyone's looking happy and healthy. Let's go ahead and get them into the system. And here they are in their new home. The third one's somewhere around here, but so far, so good. The clownfish don't seem to really care about them, and damsels don't care about the clownfish, so that's always a plus in my books. So let's just hope that they earn their keep now. So get to work, guys. Yeah. Okay, so there, that's it. It's super simple to do. Obviously, you're using more water, so keep that in mind. You're going to have to get some spare salt water to throw it back in the system after you take 2.5, 3 gallons, whatever you use for your, obviously, your acclimation, and the 2 gallons per, or the 2 gallon per packet. You can do on multiple fish, but in general, after a few hours, toss that stuff. You do not want that stuff going back in your system, so get rid of it. But we put them in the tank. We're going to keep an eye on them over the next 24, 48, 72 hours pretty closely, just to ensure that everything's looking good. We want to make sure that the other fish aren't beating up on them or you're chasing them or anything like that. So we'll keep an eye on them. And of course, as you know, we'll keep an eye on the flatworm situation. I'm hoping they do their job. If they don't, they're going to get the axe. No, not really. But I do hope they do their job. Hope they do it well. Hope they do it quickly. Obviously, they're small, so maybe they won't do it yet. But in time, we'll give them time, and hopefully we'll see what they do for the system, and hopefully get it nice and cleaned up and pristine again. And we'll go from there. So, all right, guys, that's it for me. Thanks for stopping by. Like I said, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. Share the content if you haven't already. Make sure to go buy some safety stop. It really is going to be a benefit, at least if something goes wrong. If your quarantine goes down, if you don't have it, whatever it may be. You never know when the heater goes out and your quarantine's at 50 degrees instead of 78, you know. So let's be proactive, be safe, and get a couple of those. It's not going to hurt you. So I would highly recommend it. So that's it for us. Thanks for stopping by. Check out the link in the description below for more information on the Blue Life Safety Stop. And that's it. Have a great weekend. Have a fantastic next week. It's Christmas. It's Christmas, right? It's Christmas next week, so have a Merry Christmas. Hopefully Santa brings everyone something, right? Maybe a new fish. A lot of presents, hopefully. Okay, guys, we'll see you next week. What are you gonna say? Goodbye. Say peace. Bye. Peace. Bye. Merry Christmas, guys. Peace.